Good morning, everybody. Welcome to 2023. Happy New Year. You know, on this first day of the year, instead of a sermon snippet, how about we do a little bit of a New Year's reflection? Because so often on the opening days and weeks of a new year, we enter into the process of making our New Year's resolutions. We think about what changes we want to make that will make the year open before us better than the last year. And our resolutions can be about anything. It can be about our job satisfaction. It can be about the goals that we want to aspire to. It might be about our emotional or mental well-being. It could be about our physical health. Some people make resolutions about their appearance. And some make resolutions about their spiritual life. They enter into the new year thinking, this is the year that I am going to grow in my relationship with God. This is the year that I am going to grow in my faith. And like all resolutions, no matter what it is, the big question that kind of hangs in the background is, how are we going to go about doing this? And so if your resolution or part of your resolution is about growing in your life with God and getting closer to Jesus in this new year, then I want to give you just, I think, the best way to move forward. And actually, we see this in the Bible. In the book of Acts chapter 2, right after the day of Pentecost, when the disciples are trying to figure out, what does this new life in the Spirit of God actually look like? What does it mean to live in the light of Jesus in the resurrection? There's this little line in Acts chapter 2, verse 42 that says, they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching, to the fellowship, to the breaking of bread, and to the prayers. The apostles' teaching was this time where they gathered and they searched the scriptures in the light of Jesus' resurrection. The fellowship was about coming together as a community of faith. The breaking of the bread wasn't just about a meal. It wasn't just a potluck. It was about this worshipful gathering where they gathered and shared the Last Supper together. And of course, the prayers was about praying together. This was the way that the disciples kind of rooted their Christian life and moved forward individually in their faith, but also together as a community. And so if you are wanting to grow your faith, if you are wanting to get closer to God in this new year, then hold these 4 things before you. And potentially, after every week, just ask yourself the question, how did I engage with the apostles' teaching? Which means, how did I learn from the scriptures? How did I read the scriptures or hear the scriptures or engage in this discussion about the scriptures this week? How did I engage in fellowship? Did I meet with any Christian brother or sister? Did I involve myself in the Christian community in any sort of way? The apostles' teaching. Did I enter into this worshipful gathering where we gather together and worshiped? And if you belong to a liturgical tradition, then you can think about the sacrament. How did I engage with the sacrament of the Eucharist this week? And prayers. What did my prayer life look like? If we ask those questions, those 4 simple questions, every single week, and we do our best to try to tackle them week after week after week in the smallest way that we can, then by the end of the year, then we will know that we have grown in our faith, because all of those things will naturally unite us to the Spirit of God. As it happened, those 4 things, they are things that we as the cathedral here, we build our life of faith on. And so if you are looking for a fellowship to belong to, if you're looking for a gathering of people to worship with, then we want to invite you to check us out here at St. Paul's Cathedral in Kamloops. We have 2 services, one at 8 o'clock in our chapel and one at 10 o'clock here in the sanctuary. We also live stream our 10 o'clock service, and you can find that on Facebook at St. Paul's Kamloops. But wherever you are, in whatever resolution you've made this year, may you know that God is with you, and may you know that God loves you. God bless you all.